Hey guys, Dibz here, and today I've got an Overwatch game analysis video for you of one of my viewers. Today we're going to be going over some Mercy gameplay, and as you guys know, or if you guys follow my stream, this is going to be Kayon, and if you guys recognize him, he is one of the main healers that are typically on my team when playing a quick play or competitive. Now I'm actually willing to analyze any level of gameplay, so if you want me to analyze yours, just so you can get some tips and tricks and see where you can improve, you can send it to me at DibzGaming@hotmail.com or link it in the comments below. Now, if I recall correctly, his highest rank in Season 1 was 64, so you can pretty much expect some high-level gameplay in this game. So first, I'm going to let the game run on its own so you can see how it flows, and after that, we're going to go back and dive into analysis, whether it comes to decision-making, positioning, and all the other good stuff like that. If you guys actually want to dive right into the analysis and skip the non-commentated part, you can click on this link right here, but if you want to watch the gameplay, here it is.
Greetings. 4, 3, 2, 1. Attack commencing. Capture objective A.
Let's get this done.
Where does it go?
Everyone heal up.
My ultimate is charging. Did someone call a doctor?
By the dragon.
I understand.
Enemy contact.
Heroes never die.
Get past this.
Ich bin da. I'm taking care of you. Powered up. Greetings.
Sorry.
My ultimate is ready.
Did someone call a doctor?
Thank you.
Damn it.
Claim the objective. The objective is mine.
The prognosis is not good.
Always too confident. Tactical visor ready for
Taking the
deployment.
objective. My ultimate is charging.
Marked by the dragon.
Damage boost engaged.
It's hand.
Objective A captured. Commence attack on objective B.
It's hand.
Affirmative. Healing stream engaged. Heroes never die.
This time, I will not fail.
Let's get you back out there. Damage increased. Hello there. Patch
My
you up.
ultimate is ready. I hate your attention. Locking down the objective. Rally to me.
Danke.
Thanks. 안녕.
Heilstrahl aktiviert.
감사.
My ultimate is charging.
It's hand.
I've got you. You're ready to do
Tactical
some damage.
visor ready for deployment.
My ultimate is ready. I'll be watching over you.
Thank you. My ultimate
Let's get you back out there.
وديهم قوتك.
Heroes never die. Helden sterben nicht. Healing stream engaged.
My ultimate is charging.
Get my ultimate. Get them off me. Support has arrived.
Thank you.
I understand.
I'm back in the fight.
Tactical visor ready for deployment.
Patching you up. Cover me. Damage amplified.
瞧瞧这个。
My ultimate is ready.
I'm ready.
It's high noon.
Join me.
Thanks.
Hanzo, at your service.
안녕.
Where does it hurt? Powered up.
Much life.
Healing stream engaged.
It's true.
Damage boost engaged. Attack the objective.
The enemy is here.
I need healing.
Where does it hurt?
My
I
ultimate
understand.
is charging.
I think I'd forget about you.
Damage amplified. Patching you up.
It's time.
Behind you.
Victory. Five, four, three, two, one. Attackers incoming.
Greetings.
Defend objective A.
Understood.
Shield metrics
You're ready to
established.
do some damage. Get them off me. Patching you up.
Time to raise my PTR.
Right beside you. Let's get you back out there.
Shoot down.
Mercy im Bereitschaftsdienst. I could use some assistance. Let's get you back out there. Understood. Damage boost engaged.
Mecha activated.
Healing stream engaged. I am ready to resurrect you. Help me! Damage amplified. I've got you. Heilstrahl aktiviert.
See through the wolf.
You're ready to do some damage. Ich kümmere mich um dich.
Teleporter online. I'm open to thought.
Behind you.
All systems checked out.
I'm taking care of you. Right beside you. Patching you up. I'm being attacked. I'm here. Help me. You're ready to do some damage. Everyone is protected. Where does it hurt? Ich bin da.
Justice reigns from above.
Patching you up.
I'm gonna have to shoot you down.
Nerf this.
Powered up. Healing stream engaged. Patching you up. My thanks. I will not waste this opportunity. Damage increased. I'm taking care of you. Help me. I'm with you. Mercy and the Rezzes
remaining.
Heroes never die. Rocket barrage incoming.
Thanks for the assist. Enemies healing stream engaged. Damage boost engaged. Help me. Ich bin da. Get back.
30 seconds remaining.
Say thanks.
My teleporter is almost ready to deploy.
Let's get you back out there.
Thanks for the assist.
Move back. Teleporter online.
10 seconds.
Their time is running out.
Right beside you.
Nerf this.
Victory.
Alright, so let's get right down to the analysis. As y'all know, this is PTR, and that means Mercy has been buffed. Her healing over time has been buffed by 20%. Actually, no, it's about 40%. So it goes from 50 to 20 or 70 healing. So she got an increase of 20 healing, which is 40% of overall healing, which is quite a bit. This means that her overall charge for her ultimate is much faster. And actually, that was nothing much you can do with that Reaper. But yeah, she gets more Rezzes quickly in PTR. So that's really a big buff for her. And there's gonna be a lot more Mercies nowadays. She wasn't really relevant last patch, as it was the Zenyatta patch. Yeah, anyways, this is important because this comes down to picking your targets on who to choose to heal. Right. So as you can see right now, the Hanzo's taking damage. He's the one that's low. Take care of him first. But at this point right here, you see a Roadhog and a Soldier. So typically when you have two targets that are being damaged or taking a lot of damage, first of all, you want to think, who can heal themselves? Which one has the most self-sustainability? Well, both of these guys can heal themselves, but let's say this was either a Reinhardt and a Soldier, or a Tracer and a Roadhog. So you would always want to pick the target that cannot heal themselves. So in this case, if it was a Tracer and a Roadhog, and you would want to heal the Tracer because she can't heal herself, and if it was a Reinhardt and a Soldier, you would want to heal the Reinhardt because the Reinhardt can heal himself. So but in this case, there's two of them that can heal themselves, and you want to pick the target that is the most susceptible to damage, and that is probably the Roadhog because he's in front and he is also a tank, and this Soldier can literally just run backwards and heal himself, while the Roadhog is most likely going to be taking a lot of damage. So this is why you would want to pick the Roadhog instead of the Soldier. So always pick the one that's taking the most amount of damage, and the one that has least ability to heal themselves, or no ability to heal themselves. So that was called a tempo res that he just did. And a tempo res is pretty much a resurrect on a teammate that kind of allows your team to continue to push forward. So this res right here, it wasn't really important for them to kind of like survive against a push or an attack. It's more like to keep the ball rolling. The thing is, if you don't res this Roadhog, what you're going to have to do is wait for the Roadhog to walk all the way back, and that's going to take a lot of time before you can actually group up together again and then push the point. So this tempo res is what allows you to continue pushing forward without wasting any time. It's very, very useful whenever you have important targets that you want to kind of like bring back into the battle as soon as possible. It could either be a tank or a really big DPS. It could be either one of those or maybe even another healer. Most of the time though, you don't want to be healing a Lucio because he can heal himself, right? And escape pretty easily. But right here, I'm taking attack or taking fire from that Hanzo. Always want to survive as long as possible. And right there, Kayon was actually able to get away from the Hanzo and survive by jumping down and not teleporting, but flying to this Mei. So right now, the Mei doesn't need any healing, right? Because look at the Hanzo. The Hanzo is actually frozen. That means there is no possible way that this Mei can take damage from him, so he automatically switches to the boosting. This is kind of where you want to figure out whether you want to heal or whether to boost. There's two different modes, obviously, and whenever nobody really needs healing, you always want to be damage boosting that target instead. You don't want to be wasting any time healing the target because it's really no use, especially when that target can actually be dealing additional damage with your damage boost. So yeah, it's really important for you to be on point with your toggling, toggling between your healing and your damage boosting. Especially when it comes to a high damage dealer, it can help a lot. So right here you can see a Roadhog is really weak, always just jumping towards the target, and as you can see right there, there is a healing cross on top of the Roadhog, and that purple sign means that this Roadhog cannot be healed. This is because of Ana's grenade. Ana grenades prevents healing for 6 seconds, and in this case you can see that the Roadhog is so low, he is most likely going to die anyway. So even if you try to heal him, it's going to be very useless. If there's a target that has this symbol above his head, you should always damage boost them whenever possible, so you can get as much damage output before that person dies. You actually don't know how long the poison is going to last for, or the thing is going to last for, right? The debuff can last maybe 6 more seconds, 4 more seconds, 3 more seconds, and that's very important for you to kind of like make use of it, or make use of that knowledge and not heal that target but instead damage boost them. So right now you're the only target by yourself. It's good for you to pull out your pistol because nobody's around you to damage boost. Doing your quick melee and whacking them as well, and of course the practical BM, pushing them off the map. Always gotta do that. And yeah, they're able to take the point pretty easily. Every time you're Mercy, you don't want to be just pulling out your staff whenever there's a target attacking you by yourself. You can either try to run away, or you can actually pull out your pistol like he did and kill the target. Here at this point. So at this point you hear the ultimate from McCree. So the first thing you should do is not stay out in the open and panic. What he should have done was actually run towards this Mei here. He could have actually used his Guardian Wings and fly directly to the Mei and actually survive, because look at it. So he puts up a wall here. I'm not exactly sure if it blocks it, but this Mei did not die. The Mei did not take any damage, and in this case, if he was at the location of where the Mei was, he would have been able to survive. So he needs to work on his reflexes a little bit, kind of dive towards a safer area much more quickly, and kind of get out of danger. So he allowed himself to die at that point, and that's kind of slows the team down a little bit. It wasn't really that big because they were just capturing the point, but still, every death does count. You always want to stay alive as long as possible as Mercy. Your number one goal is to keep yourself alive, not die. Because if you can't, if you don't stay alive, then nobody else does. Alright, so right now, he could res this hero on the ground, but honestly, if he did res them, there was somebody all the way up in the front. There was somebody in the spawn. There's like everybody is split up everywhere that it wouldn't matter if he actually rezzed anybody. It's not considered a tempo res if nobody's able to push afterwards. So you kind of don't want to waste it on a single target if you know that you're not going to have any push ability. But right here at this point, he saw one person down and then a Nordhogg down as well. So whenever you see at least 2 people dead around you, this is when you want to use your ultimate. You never want to waste, you can use an ultimate on 1 target, but that's only if it's a tempo res. If it's 2, then you always want to be able to use it, right? There are some cases where you don't only want to res 1 person, like that other time whenever that Reaper died on the side, or I don't know what hero it was, but there was another hero that died on his own, and there was somebody else that was all the way in the front. Everybody was too separated, and it wouldn't be considered a tempo res. It would be a waste. So imagine he did that, and these 2 people died here. He wouldn't have the res here to save these 2 heroes. So you always want to make sure that whenever there are at least 2, you always want to use your res at that point, which is why he uses it. And it's always worth it. It's always worth it to res 2 or more people whenever you can. So you also don't have to look at your target whenever you're healing or damage boosting. You can look away, you can turn around, look in one direction, make sure you're not being flanked. It's very useful for you to be able to do that. To kind of not always look in the same direction. It allows you to not tunnel vision. Tunnel visioning is always bad, obviously. And not much he could have done here. You didn't know exactly where the target that was nano boosted that was going to come from. So he pretty much just had to take it. It was nothing much you can do. Alright, so it's coming back in. Going to be using his Guardian Wings towards the target. Trying to stay out of line of sight. He should at least. Reinhardt just got down. Wasn't able to get towards him because you can't use your Guardian Wings towards a target that is line of sight, of course. They have to be within your sight in order to do it. Even though you can see them across the wall, you can't use your Guardian Wings on them. So right now everybody is healed. Staying out of line of sight, of course. Good job. You cannot heal through walls. After 1 second, you are unable to heal a target if it's out of your line of sight for 1 second. Nothing much going on here. Healing, healing. Staying behind the barrier, of course, very, very important. Don't want to get killed. Getting his res up. He could use a tempo res here, but if you think about it, look at this. There is nobody else here that is around him. There's a Reaper here, and there's another person that's flanking. That means that's a total of 4 people here. But you need the whole team here to kind of actually do a big push, right? So it's very important for you to figure out when you want to use your res. At this point, it is not worth it for him to use it. And of course, there's a McCree here, pulling out his pistol whenever he can. You can say that if he did res, the Reinhardt would be there to protect him, but you know, it still wouldn't be worth it in my opinion. You could go either way, but still not able to survive that, which is pretty bad. Kind of sucks. But right now he has a res, and everybody is up towards the front, using his Guardian ability to make sure he gets there quickly. And right now there's a lot of people here. You see an ultimate coming up. And at this point, what he could actually do is wait and try to hide. Right? So, right here. So you see a lot of people dying right here. At this point, you hear a Reinhardt using his ultimate or getting charged by an Ana. So basically, everybody here is most likely gonna die. Right? What you can do as a Mercy, typically what you see in the pro games is that they like to hide, or Mercies like to hide behind a wall or behind a corner, wait for everybody to die, or wait for everybody to die, and then dive in and res everybody all at once. That's what you actually want to do as Mercy. I'm not sure if that's what he was trying to do, but he ended up trying to stick behind the wall after the Reinhardt got boosted. He shouldn't have shown himself, I don't think. I would have actually waited around. But yeah, he actually ended up getting that res, which is pretty much what you were supposed to do. But if you think about it, he could have gone a little bit further to use it. So he actually did what I was talking about. He kind of stayed hidden for a little bit. That McCree came from the opposite side because he was out of position. But right here, he sees 2. You could have actually gone a little bit farther and got a 3rd res. He might have been a little bit panicked here because he didn't think he was going to survive. He was at 92 health, taking damage. It's possible that he could have thought he was going to die, but honestly, if he went a little bit farther, he could have rezzed and got that 3rd target. And he would have died here either way, but still getting that extra res up would have been able to allow you guys to get into battle much more quickly and just do a possible big push. Yeah, it's really important for you to stay hidden whenever you want to use your res, or whenever you're trying to do a big res. You can easily bring the game back or turn it around by doing that. It happens quite a bit actually in pro games. You see it quite a lot. That's what you normally want to do. You just stay hidden. The most important part of being Mercy. This is why you always want to stay alive. You don't want to be in the enemy's view whenever there's a big giant battle happening. That's typically, your thought process. So you got a May Ice block coming out. Trying to heal up everybody. Nothing much going on at this point. So as you can see, his res goes up really quickly because of the buff. Seeing Reinhardt getting pushing the Roadhog off, and of course dying to the Hanzo. Let's see if he could have done that any differently actually. So at this point, he did use his Guardian Angel towards the Mei, but I think he could have Guardian Angel toward... Oh yeah, he was trying to Guardian Angel toward the D.Va, but this is why he kind of lagged behind, and he found out that the D.Va was out of line of sight, and he's like, oh crap, okay, so I'm going to try to use my glide against this Mei, or for this Mei. But this is why you learn how... I mean, I think he does it a few times, but you can actually push your Guardian Angel wing ability, and it cancels your travel towards that target. So if you push it in the middle of your glide, or if you're flying to your opponent, it will stop you in that location and you can just continue walking. But at this point, he used it too late and he continuously tried to glide into the wall. At this point, he really could have actually pushed shift right here and continued walking on the outside. But he got caught and ended up dying to this Hanzo. This is why it's important for you to learn how to do that. I remember seeing him do it before. He does it quite a bit actually, but I guess he didn't do it at that point. Alright, so skipping ahead. Everybody's dead. I'm telling everybody to group up. You should wait for your entire team, so you can do a big giant push together, obviously. Something you should always do. Tell your team to group up. They'll listen to you mostly since you're the... Well, hopefully. Most likely, if you have a good team, they'll listen to you. They'll group up together. And that's kind of your job as a healer. You can do that as a tank as well. It is hard to get picked up. Not much you can do. So healing up that D.Va. Not much healing, gliding on top so he can stay in view. Because that D.Va is actually line of sighting him sometimes. So you always want to reposition yourself in a safe area whenever you can, so you can get a better view on the healing target or damage boosting target. Alright, so damage boosting because that D.Va is full at health, right? Looks like they're going to be doing a big push very soon. Everybody's pretty low on health. And it's very nice for you to kind of like check to see where everybody's ultimates are at. So it kind of tells you at what point people are going to start pushing. Looks like everybody's just kind of slowly pushing forward. He's trying to glide towards the back. Yep. Very, very dangerous. He could have easily gotten picked off, but he luckily did not get picked off. Alright. So he got slept. Obviously, he should not be doing that. Should be going back into battle. But it doesn't look like the team actually needs a res or anything like that. So when he was gone, the team pretty much just pushed onto point. And I'm not exactly sure how that happened. But yeah, anyway, a pretty good push by the team. That's typically what you want to do overall when you're playing Mercy. Kayon did a very good job staying alive most of the time and keeping up his entire team. A lot of the times the team was kind of split up, and that's really good and bad for Mercy sometimes because it depends on how your team is split up. If your team is split up but you have line of sight of them, it's really good because you can kind of like fly between each hero and heal them and also escape your enemies when they're chasing after you. But if they are out of your line of sight, you're gonna have to like try to get an angle and see if you can actually get to the teammate. And sometimes they don't even notice that you're trying to get to them, and so they just keep like, line of sighting you, and you can never get to them, and they end up dying and then of course blaming you. But anyway, that's team games for you sometimes. But anyway, we're going to be going on to defense to see what that gameplay is like. Alright, so now we are on defense. Typically whenever you play defense, you want a Mercy. Mercy is a little bit less seen on attack because of Lucio and Zenyatta. Lucio is more offensive because of its speed boost that he can give to his teammates, and Zenyatta is more offensive because of the Discord orb that can bring down the enemy tanks and allows you to kind of like push and attack a little bit more quickly. But Mercy, not as much on offense. She's more of a defensive hero because, you have line of sight of most of your teammates whenever you're on attack. And you can get those good reses that are really important for you to get your team back into the game. That's really, really good for Mercy to be on a defensive team. But anyway, yeah, we're going to go into the gameplay. Just trying to heal all of these targets. So keeping her distance away from the DPS that's taking damage, obviously. You don't want to be sticking around to the target as much. Because if that healer or that target is taking damage, that means there's somebody really close that can easily switch targets to you. And of course, you want to stay alive as long as possible. Alright, got this Pharah. Of course, Pharah is a very good friend of Mercy. Not in, well, you know, they can both fly in the air. Pharah can fly in the air. She can use her Guardian Angel ability, and she can stick in the air with Pharah, which is very, very nice. Allows you to kind of avoid any close combat DPSers on the opposite team. Using that ability to heal up the tank. Tanks are very, very important to keep alive. And this is also where you want to use your tempo rezzes. There are tempo rezzes on defense as well to make sure that your team is able to kind of keep the pressure up on the opposing team so they can't push on. It's very important to do that as well. Alright, so using her glide ability, obviously. Holding down space so you can float in the air a little bit longer and you can, you know, stay farther away from your opponents. Allows you to stick closer to the Pharah so you can heal her quicker and more often. So you always want to make use of your glide ability as well by holding space or your jump ability. And whichever, if you're playing on PS4 or Xbox, it's one of those. So, alright, not much going on. Damage boosting your heroes or your teammates as much as possible whenever they're full on health. Basically everything we talked about on round 1. Nothing really special. Trying to take care of all these targets. Damage boosting. Nobody has died for quite a while actually. Someone might die here. Nope. Okay, not dying yet. So keeping her res for a really, really long time that means you're actually doing a good job as a healer because you're keeping everybody alive. The longer that you have your res and that you don't have the chance to use it, that means you're doing, you know, the best job as a healer. Nobody's dying. Not exactly sure what he's looking at. I think he's waiting for the flanker. I think there was somebody else behind. This actually, you could say that this looks pretty one-sided at the moment. The opposing team is not doing a big push right now. Got a direct hit on the Pharah. Doesn't look like anybody's gonna die here yet, though. Alright. Let's see. Alright, so right here, she could, stick behind the box. Yep, alright. So at this point, there can be a few things that are running through your mind. Should I res that Symmetra or should I not res the Symmetra? The thing is, if you looked at the top right a little bit earlier, you can see that the Symmetra wasn't the only one that died. The teleporter died as well. In this case, I would say it is very nice for you to be able to res the Symmetra because the teleporter is down, right? So if the teleporter was still up, it would have been okay for you to not use a tempo res on the Symmetra because the teleporter would, you know, just basically bring the Symmetra back really, really quickly. However, it is down now, and you always want to keep the teleporter up as long as possible, and the way to do that is to get the Symmetra back in the game as fast as possible. So if I actually saw this, I would have probably resed the Symmetra first. It's really important for you to always have one of them up. And I just feel like a Symmetra teleporter is very, very important to have in the game. But didn't look like this whole team was going to get wiped out anytime soon though either. And of course doing another BM, as always. It's Kayon. That's Kayon's thing. So imagine that he uses tempo res. Nobody else is dead. Yeah, it would have been okay for them to use it. But he might actually die right here. Nope. Okay, good job. So he was able to use his Guardian Angel to escape the attacker. Very, very nice of him to do so. But just at the rate at which Mercy is able to gain her ultimate back, I feel like players should be using their rezzes a lot more freely. He's trying to save them. He hasn't used it the entire game, honestly. Think about it. It's already 4 minutes into the game and not a single res has happened. Well, dodge that ultimate. Saving ultimates can be okay, but yep, ×2. Yep, jump. Nice. So at that point is also a very important part. Right here, you could wait for the diva to get out of her mech and die, but look at this clock right here. This is the clock in which your target is going to respawn. Once it reaches its full, you cannot res that target. This is why it's important for you to keep track of them at all times and make sure that you don't let this number go down to 1 or even 0. He realized that this was going to happen, so he used his res right away instead of trying to wait for the diva to kind of like die and heal him, which is a very good call by him. But I feel like if he used his res on the Symmetra earlier, he probably would have been able to actually get it again by now. Very nice. Damage boosting this Junkrat. Alright, so if you didn't know, whenever you damage boost a target, it increases the damage of that target's whenever that projectile hits that target. So let's say you have a grenade from a Junkrat flying across the map. If you damage boost him when he shoots it, it doesn't necessarily mean that that grenade is going to have 30% extra power. But if he shoots that grenade and it hits a target across the map and you damage boost him when that target gets hit, that 30% extra damage will go onto that grenade. So the damage boost from Mercy affects that hero whenever that hero deals damage at that point, not whether that target shot a projectile and having that projectile doesn't have 30% extra damage. This is why whenever a Junkrat uses his ultimate, you want to actually try and damage boost him throughout the entirety of it, or if you know it's about to explode at a certain time, damage boost him when it's about to explode. If you damage boost him right when he uses it and it starts traveling, if you let go of it and you start healing him, that tire does not have 30% damage. You got to make sure that whenever it hits impact, that is the point in which you want to be doing your damage boost. So it's really important for you to do that. It happens like that to all heroes when it comes to Pharaoh rockets or ultimates from what was it, Tracer, her bombs, any projectile. Whenever you use your boost, whenever it deals that damage is when you want to have the damage boost on. The effect doesn't stay on the projectile. Not a lot of people know that. It's very, very important for you to know how to do that. Right, using his his ability to just glide everywhere. Not much going on here. Holding up the last point, using her pistol to deal damage. I feel like he should be damage boosting instead, in my opinion. He should be damage boosting. Should not be trying to attack, but I think he's just doing whatever's. So, yeah. I do want to talk about using your what was it? Your guardian shield, your guardian ability. The thing is, whenever you're flying towards a teammate, you want to be able to actually stop before that target. Let me see if I can actually find a point in time that he does it here. Alright, so we're back to on the first round when it was attack. This is the skill that I'm talking about. Imagine you are gliding towards this Reinhardt, right? And what happens if you actually are at a different angle and you're behind him and you use your glide ability? If you actually don't let go, you will end up in front of the Reinhardt when you use your Guardian Angel ability. This is really bad because you're going to be in front of the tank, and that's not what you always want to do. You always want to be behind the tank, behind the shield, and one way to do that is to use your Guardian Angel ability to allow yourself to stop. Use it and it stopped right there, right? So you saw him kind of like pause a little bit and sit at where the Reinhardt actually is. If you end up in front of the Reinhardt, sometimes you can overshoot, and after that people are just going to start shooting you. You're not going to have any protection, and that is one of the best ways to die if you want to get in front of a tank who's taking damage. Yeah, that's why I feel like it's really important for you to do that. There were no other times that he actually had to do that, but this was a very, very important time that I actually saw him do it. But yeah, that's something that a lot of people don't really know. You always want to be in a safe area behind the tank, not in front of them. If you ever get in front of the tank, you're most likely going to be taking a lot of damage, and people are going to hate you for it. So Mercy is one of the healers that are going to be seen a lot in competitive, I feel like, because of her just the sheer amount of healing that she has. I mean, you think about it, 70 per second. That's as much healing as Anna. Anna does about 75 to 80 per shot. But right now it's continuous and you don't have to reload, which is very, very nice for Mercy. But yeah, that's going to be it for this gameplay analysis of a viewer. If you guys want to submit your own, you can submit it at DibzGaming@hotmail.com. I typically have more knowledge on flankers such as Tracer and Genji. I can give a little bit more input, and when it comes to strategy based on those heroes, I'm okay at Widowmaker, Pharah as well. So if you have any gameplay on those heroes that you would like me to see, then feel free to just email them to me or put it in the comment below, and I will gladly analyze them for you for those viewers on this channel as well. But yeah, anyway, that's going to be it for me for this one. I always want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.